Ashley, and on this channel I love to share all things books and homeschooling and anything else. And today is going to be all about books from December, either books that I finished, books that I DNF'd, and some that I carried over. So as always, pull up your favorite drink. I have a nice little caramel latte, and let's start talking books. All right, so I have a stack of books sitting here off camera, but realistically, I finished 4 books. I had some DNFs, and I carried some over into January. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's talk first about the books that I carried over. The first is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I had really hoped to get this done in time, and just with New Year's festivities and everything like that, it didn't get done. I am really enjoying it. As I'm filming this, I will be finishing it today because then I need to get on with some other books. But I am really enjoying it, so much so that I have pre-ordered the second one that comes out in January. I am listening to None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is my first Lisa Jewell book, but I have heard really good things about this one, and so far I'm enjoying it. I haven't been able to devote enough time to it lately. I think yesterday I listened to it for a little bit, so I'm not that far in. I'm hoping that the week that I'm filming this, I will make some progress with it. I like books that have a little bit of mystery and characters that you can't quite count on what they're saying, and this seems to be that. So that one I carried over. The next 2, well, yeah, I didn't finish. It's a tandem read of 2 massive books that equals 1,300 pages. And honestly, I got tired of them. I think that the stories are still very interesting. I think, though, that the cast of characters and the complexity of what is going on was just more than I felt like dealing with in December. But that is the tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. These are books 5 and 6 in the Throne of Glass series, and so they take place at the same time in all of it, but in different places. And so somebody at one point decided you can read them at the same time, so you go one book and then the next, and then the next, and so on for 50 tabs. I made it pretty far. So Tower of Dawn is where I left off. I made it to page 356 out of 660. So about halfway through. And Empire of Storms, less. I made it to page 277 out of 689. So not quite half of this one. I would like to pick them up. I will say this one hasn't been my all-time favorite series, and I don't really know why. Maybe it just, everything just gets really complicated, and I don't know that I'm super into like epic fantasies at this point. They are shelved for right now, but I would like to pick them up and try to finish them when I have downtime. I don't know when that will be, because then I still have the very last book in the series, Kingdom of Ash. So there's that. For the month of December, I had 2 DNFs. So the first was The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. This had been on my shelf for a while. The audio became available, and so I thought, okay, I wasn't planning on reading this, but let's pick it up. I just wasn't interested. I wasn't invested in the characters. It is set at Oxford while the first Oxford dictionary is trying to be put together. You're following Esme, whose father is part of that, And so she very much grows up in that world, but being a woman in that time, struggles with it. She starts to realize that certain words aren't being put in or used correctly or anything like that. I just had no interest. I just didn't really care. And I have a lot of other books to get to, and so I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna DNF it. The next was The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. There had been, went into this knowing there was a lot of mixed feelings about this book, and I can see why. I am for kind of gritty books. What I'm really, really not liking are books that call themselves adult, but really come out like new adult. So you are following a 30-year-old named Alex who had a falling out with a friend, and it's all very like teenager-like behavior. She now has a new friend, but she doesn't really like him, ends up sleeping with him, and it just gets messy. She then somehow magically gets into a writing retreat at the estate of her beloved author and goes there. That's as far as I made it, them just getting to the estate. And I really felt like the writer of this book was trying to come off as, look at how inclusive I am, by just saying that she was inclusive and not showing it in her writing. I did not like this at all. So that was a very, very quick DNF. All right, now for the 4 books that I did read and finish in December. Like I said, there was only 4 books. December is a busy, busy month for so many different reasons, not only the holidays, but my son had a birthday and homeschooling and just everything else. That's all that I finished. The first 2 that I'm going to talk about together are Garden Spells and First Frost by Sarah Addison Allen. I really, really enjoyed these. They are cozy, slight fantasy, following the Waverly family as 2 estranged sisters come together again at the family house, and there is a lot of kind of having to deal with some big emotions and figuring out who they are. I really liked it. I will say Garden Spells was a 5-star read for me. I really, really liked the main storyline of this one. First Frost didn't quite make it for me. It was a 4-star read. I think this one, you're really following a daughter of one of the main sisters in Garden Spells as she's a teenager. It just didn't give me the same vibes as Garden Spells, but I still liked it, and I think it just kind of brought back that family a little bit more, and you got to know them just a little bit better. So, 5 stars and 4 stars. My next, and actually only holiday read that I read in December, it's not my favorite genre of books, but I did pick one up, and that is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. I have read another book by this author, and so decided to pick it up. This one, it did surprise me. I wasn't expecting kind of a fantasy element into it. This, you are following a 20-something-year-old Malin as she is at a cabin that her parents and all of their extended amazing friends that have become family get together and celebrate at every Christmas. And she makes a mistake, wishes for a change, and she gets it. She gets to actually go back and try to fix everything, and has some big life lessons and kind of learning about herself and others in this whole huge extended family group. It was good. It was okay. I think it was a solid 3.5 stars. And then my last book to talk about was Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This, you are following a married couple, Adam and Amelia, as they win a getaway into Scotland. And of course, there's a massive snowstorm. Things start happening. I will say it had some good twists and turns that I wasn't necessarily seeing happen. I like books with characters, especially like kind of mystery thriller kind of books, where the characters are they're not reliable. And you definitely get that in this, with not really kind of spooky elements. But overall, it was good. I think kind of like a 3.5 star read for me. But yeah, those are the books. It's just a little short stack to hold up. But like I said, that's okay. It was so busy. And I hit my goal of 100 books. And I was reading a lot with my kids over December. We were reading a lot of books together. And so that is fine. And I was able to just kind of sit back and enjoy things for a little bit and not feel like, oh, I need to be reading. As always, if you like these types of videos or anything else that I share on this channel, please be sure to subscribe and like below, and I will be back for more soon.